What's happening, Canopy Growth traders and investors? It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. Today is Monday. It's July 18th. Hope you're well today and hope you had an excellent weekend. In this short video, going to be discussing the stock Canopy Growth Corporation. They purchased a majority stake in BioSteel, and there was some huge news today and a huge deal with Alek Manoa, the pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. And the stock was up about 20% today, turning a lot of heads. Had a bunch of questions as to why Canopy Growth was up, but it was one of the lead bulls today. I'm going to give my opinions on why the stock was up, my 2 cents. A lot of it had to do with this news, but before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe and tick the bell to be notified on any future videos. So as you can see, Canopy Growth issued a press release today. BioSteel inks deal with the Toronto Blue Jays, Alek Manoa, and he has been a strong advocate for BioSteel. Manoa knows the importance of clean hydration to elite play on the mound. Manoa will be promoting BioSteel through events, social media, trade marketing, and more as he continues to support his daily hydration routine with the brand's lineup of zero sugar sports drinks. Help him on and off the field. Goes on to talk about how they have all these different types of flavors, and it was founded in 2009 by Salenza and business partner of NHL veteran Michael Camilleri. And I did another video as well on this. They had some other huge news. Not expecting this trend to slow down by any means. This is a fantastic brand, fantastic product. I think it was a great investment by Canopy Growth, and it's going to allow for a lot of expansion and possibilities with regards to CBD and things like that, and even more so into the future. But we had huge news. This video was back on July 8th that I did. It had to do with the NHL draft, and they announced that BioSteel is the official hydration drink of the NHL and the NHL Players Association. So again, not expecting this trend to slow down anytime soon. And I mentioned in this video that I saw a bunch of people in the dugout in Toronto, and I think they were playing Seattle Mariners, and I saw BioSteel in the dugout. So again, it was a little bit of a heads up and a clue that we could potentially see some partnerships with MLB. We also had some other MJ news. Biden says he's working on fulfilling MJ campaign to pledge to free prisoners, so people who are convicted of offensive crimes and things like that for being incarcerated due to MJ. He went on to say that he doesn't believe that anybody should be in jail because of MJ if it's non-violent, right? Also, another article here from Technical 420. Canopy Growth is valued at less than $1 billion USD and is no longer a unicorn. And I've been saying that for a while, that I think that Canopy was going to really struggle with regards to market share in Canada. And over the last 17 months, it's dropped in the list quite substantially. We know that Organogram and Oxy are taking a run for its money as well, and we know that Tilray and Hexo are sitting at Hexo at number 1 and then Tilray at number 2. And again, I still think that they have a lot of challenge ahead of them. They're really relying on the U.S. legalizing, right? We know that they have deals with Acreage. Once federally legal in the U.S., they're going to take a controlling interest and they'll acquire Acreage. But again, they're just very reliant on the U.S. legalizing. And again, all that news today definitely helped the stock, in my opinion. But I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that we were just oversold. And we were finally starting the oversold bounce. We were daily oversold. Like I said, we bounced about 20% today. If we zoom out to the weekly time frame, it was a weekly bear flag that confirmed as well. And we were targeting $2.33 USD. I did a video on this as well, saying that we had bear flags. I gave a multiple day and week heads up. And if you take a look at the weekly time frame, we're still weekly oversold. So we're starting the weekly oversold bounce here as well. We were daily oversold. And if we take a look at the monthly chart, we would have touched down on monthly oversold. And again, if you don't know anything about charts or investing, one very simple indicator is RSI, and I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. It's for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Do your own research as well. Don't don't listen to me. You have to take what I say and then, get a consensus from a few other people as well, and people that are highly respected, and then make your own trading strategy, right? But if you knew nothing else and you just, sold when we were overbought here on the RSI and then buy whenever we're oversold, you do way better than about 90% of retail investors, right? And tune out not social media, but mainstream media, right? And I guess you could say social media as well, because you get a lot of FUD and things like that going on there, and emotional retail investors, whenever things are selling off, that's when you typically want to sell, right? Because emotions are high. And then when things are going to the moon, quote unquote, to the moon, you never want to sell because you think everything's going to 100, right? Or 1,000 or whatever the case may be. But like I said, we were monthly oversold, weekly oversold, daily oversold. I think this was more technical than anything else. And like I said, we had a bear flag target on the weekly time frame of $2.33 USD. We actually hit that target, and we actually overshot it. So we got as low as $2.13. I started to add Canopy over the last couple of weeks, and I've got an average, I think, of about $2.50 at the moment, USD. And this is one that I'm going to be holding for the long term. It's in my long-term no-touch account. I won't be selling this position until the U.S. legalizes and we see a run up into that hype, right? But I'll wait a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years if I have to, right? And it's all money and it's a very small percentage of my portfolio. It's only about 5% of my MJ portfolio right now, my CGC holdings. But I did add about 3 times in the last few weeks. And today was a great day. Today obviously closed green with about 15.6% on the day. And like I said, we were up about 20% there at one point. But we are starting the weekly bounce. Now we need to change trends, right? We know that bulls prove absolutely nothing. The burden of proof is on the bulls. We do have a gap here at 345 as well on the daily time frame, which usually all gaps get filled in time. So that'll be a level of resistance to be watching. And we also have EMA 26 sitting there at 313. If we can get over EMA 12, we did today, but then we ended up closing back below it. So what we're going to be looking for is once we start daily consolidation, meaning we lose the low of the previous daily candle, we'll look for a higher low and a higher high to give us a daily uptrend. But right now, bulls don't really have a whole lot of room to form that daily high or low. So it's entirely possible that we see an inside bar tomorrow, and then we either break out of that bearish and start daily consolidation, or we break bullish out of that inside bar and we continue the daily bounce. What bulls want to see is as big of a bounce as possible here on the daily time frame, and then that'll allow for enough room to form a higher low. If you're looking at some entries, maybe you're waiting for that daily higher low to form, right? Maybe you're waiting for us to lose the low of the previous daily candle and then add on that daily higher low. And then on the weekly time frame, again, we just have to be cautious because we still haven't changed. We're still in weekly downtrends with a clear lower high and lower low pattern. So after we change the daily uptrend and confirm a daily uptrend, or the daily trend and confirm an uptrend on the daily, we need to zoom out to the weekly. Weekly bounce is underway now. And again, what we want to see is as big of a bounce as possible on the weekly so that we can form that weekly higher low. And then guess what we need to do? We need to zoom out to the monthly, start the monthly bounce, which hasn't occurred yet. We need to break the high of the previous monthly candle to start the bounce. That hasn't happened yet, so still a ton of work to do. But great to see that news today. And like I said, at Canopy, I do think that better days are going to be had in the future. You know, a lot of the pain I think is pretty much behind us. And I did a video on Canopy Growth going bankrupt as well. I think that's mostly FUD. I don't think there's really any possibility. I mean, there's always a possibility, but I really don't think that's going to happen. They're just too big to fail, in my opinion. But let me know in the comments below if you agree with me, disagree with me, and we'll continue the conversation in the comment section below. If you could smash the like on your way out, help support me in the channel, I would appreciate it. And if you're new, you can subscribe and share the video with anybody that might find value. I would also appreciate that. All right, thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with Power Group, and we'll see you in the next video.